A new law going into effect next month could delay police traffic stops. A new procedure that could leave you pulled over longer than you want.
And one man in the hospital tonight after a farming accident. What police say about the driver tonight after he was pinned beneath a tractor.
Also, we're just an hour away from the second largest Powerball drawing in American history. How much is at stake and what Central Texans are saying about it.
Live from Waco, Temple, and Killeen. Your news now. This is Fox 44 News at 9.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Fox 44 News at 9. I'm Leslie Rangel.
And I'm Robert Burns. Tropical Depression Harvey making its way toward the Texas coast, which could bring some heavy rains right to central Texas.
That's right. And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Mike LaPointe with the latest on the storm movements. Mike?
Well, Leslie and Robert, the reconnaissance airplane returned with some news saying it did not strengthen at all. So the tropical depression Harvey is still a tropical depression. You'll notice right now it's moving off to the northwest at about 2 miles per hour. Wind sustained at 35 miles per hour. Now it needs to reach 39 to be classified as a tropical storm. Let me show you the latest here with our spaghetti models, and we'll put this into motion to kind of give you an idea. We're still watching that track. It's going to be going to the north and to the west. Stop the clock here at 4 o'clock. Friday afternoon, just to give you an idea that some of the computer models are saying it's going to start to make landfall. Again, this is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. We'll continue that for you. And as we go throughout the evening on Friday, overnight Friday into Saturday, that's when it starts to spread just south right now. Looks like of the San Antonio area. There are a couple computer models, though. You can see it takes it right up 35 up toward Austin and then right up here toward the Waco area. And another couple of models started to swing it a little bit back over toward the Bryan and the College Station area. So again, the verdict is still out. We don't know for sure where exactly the landfall will take place, and we don't know exactly the intensity of Harvey once it gets up into our area. So again, there's a lot of variables going on with it. We'll show you here in just a few more minutes not only what it looks like on the satellite, we're talking about the GOES-16 satellite, which is very, very crystal clear, but we'll also show you the path and when we think it's going to change over to a storm coming up in just a few more minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike. We'll check back in a little bit. And police officers across the state will soon have to fill out more information when they hand out traffic tickets. Starting September 1st, officers have to check yes or no on the citation if there is any physical contact and only if it results in bodily injury during the stop. Now, last year, Hewitt police wrote close to 1,100 citations, and with the extra information they have to fill out, they say it could mean longer stop times.
Now, the check boxes, in addition to those officers wearing not only body cams but dash cams as well to keep track of everything that's going on. And Fox 44 Sarah Macias now joins us live in Woodway with the community's response to this new law.
Some drivers I spoke with don't really care for the idea. They say officers already have cameras and forms they have to fill out, so it doesn't really make sense that they have to check mark a box on a traffic ticket. But they were the minority.
Let's say the camera's not on, it'll be a great way to have that noted.
Starting September 1st, officers will have to fill out a traffic ticket that looks like this. You may not notice much of a difference, but if you look closer, the officer has to check mark 2 extra boxes. One of the boxes asks if there was any physical contact that resulted in someone getting hurt,
So that they can both be held accountable for whatever happens.
That information is then sent to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, or TCOL, and the City Council. Hewitt Police Chief Jim Devlin doesn't have a problem with the new tickets.
There's a correlation between force and traffic stops, and they want to gather that information, and I think they want to put it and combine it in with the data we already collect for the racial profiling report.
This extra step doesn't eliminate anything else. Officers with body cameras are still required to have them on, along with patrol car cameras. And if there is an incident,
I've told our officers, you know, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about. I mean, we've got in-car cameras, we've got body cameras, we've got you know, these type of reports that we send out, you know, every year. We analyze the reports to see if there's trends.
This doesn't seem to bother most people.
The camera doesn't have the a good overview of the situation because we have the angles or a lot of stuff.
This also goes hand in hand with the Sandra Bland Act that also passed as a law. Coming up at 9:30, the Hewitt Police Chief talks about how often physical contact happens during a traffic stop. Live in Woodway, Sarah Macias, Fox 44 News.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Police are investigating a farm accident in Holland that sent one man to the hospital, and authorities say that man was pinned underneath a farm tractor when help finally arrived.
Fox 44's Sydney Hernandez went and spoke to investigators about the incident.
Investigators are still trying to unfold how exactly this incident happened. They have confirmed that their victim, 64-year-old Billy Messner, was not the driver of the farm tractor. Deputies were called to the 28,000 block of Round Hall Road in Holland. There they found Messner stuck underneath a 60 to 80,000 pound farm tractor.
Somehow he got in between the tractor and the plow and got sucked into the plow.
Holland police and fire bandaged Messner and applied 2 tourniquets to the wounds. He had multiple serious injuries to both arms and legs. The driver of the tractor is fine and is cooperating with police.
Right now we're looking at it as an accident, but we are at the scene actively working it to see what happened.
Major Cruz of the Bell County Sheriff's Department says an accident like this could have easily been prevented. And now he's asking the public to be extra cautious when on any motorized vehicle.
You need to know who's around you. Do not operate the machine without knowing who's around the machine. Know what's going on around you.
Messner is still at Baylor Scott and White Hospital in Temple in unknown condition. Holland police investigators are still interviewing witnesses and the victim's family to uncover more details. Reporting, Sydney Hernandez, Fox 44 News.
And coming up later at 9:30, we're going to compare today's accident to other tractor injuries we're told about around Central Texas.
And a Bell County jury hands down a guilty verdict of the lesser charge of murder in the trial of Derek Gamble.
Yeah, Gamble was charged with shooting and killing Marlin Police Chief Darrell Allen. Now, prosecutors pointed out that it would have been difficult for Gamble to not know Allen was a police officer based on the clothes he was wearing.
Allen was shot when working security at the Laid Back Lounge in Temple in November of 2015. He died 10 days later. Sentencing for Gamble is set for tomorrow, Thursday morning.
A Hill County man is charged tonight in the death of another man earlier this week, and it all started because of a backpack. Hillsborough police arrested 25-year-old Gregory Mason Jr. He faces several charges, including murder. Police say Mason stabbed 21-year-old Glendale Montgomery earlier Tuesday this week in the morning after an argument over a backpack near the intersection of Walnut and Waco Streets. Now, witnesses and surveillance video led investigators to Mason. He's being held now on more than $1 million bond. Temple police are looking for 2 men accused of robbing a Dollar General store Tuesday night. The clerk told officers that 2 men came into the store and were shopping close to around 11 o'clock. They brought some items to the counter, and then one of them allegedly pulling out a black semi-automatic handgun and then ordering the cashier to open the drawer and give them the cash. Fortunately, no one was injured in this.
McLennan County leaders gathered this week to continue their efforts in curbing the opioid epidemic. Organizers of the Recovery-Oriented Systems of Care, ROSC, worked in groups to put together a framework of systems, services, and supports to help those that are on the path to recovery. Now, along with law enforcement, the group discussed how they can work together to help those dealing with substance abuse or mental health disorders of people who have been incarcerated.
When you have people getting out of jail, you have a situation, there's no one that is advocating or walking this journey with them. So the reintegration program provides that case management and that counseling piece.
Now, these systems are also one of the greatest ways to save tax dollars.
Baylor University's Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer is stepping down today. In a letter to faculty and staff, Baylor President Dr. Linda Livingston announcing that Dr. Reagan Ramsauer will leave the positions next May. Ramsauer attended Baylor and joined the staff back in 1983. He became a member of the administration in 2000 and will return to the classroom, though, as a full-time professor. And in a statement, Dr. Ramsauer said Baylor is an institution that he loves dearly, which has been a part of his family for many generations.
Now, earlier this year, a petition was posted on change.org calling for the resignation of this man, and because of how the university reacted to the sexual assault.
And Ramsauer oversaw Baylor's government compliance and was named in a lawsuit filed by the university's former Title IX coordinator. He was also mentioned in the Pepper Hamilton report as having a lack of support and poor systems to correctly respond to sexual misconduct. Well, tonight is the big Powerball jackpot, second largest jackpot in history, sitting now at $700 million.
That's right, and Fox 4's Renee Summerhour went around Waco to see what many of you would do if you won.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is climbing to new heights, and here in Waco, many have been buying tickets across town, but long lines weren't a problem for some store employees.
Lots of people coming and moving out, so we're expecting that people might come later towards just like around 8 or 8:30 to get their lottery ticket.
But others still excited about what they would do with their winnings.
Pay off debt. Let's go with that one. Okay. Pay off debt and buy a new house. I think that's what everybody says, right?
My first plan is 10% goes to the church.
Now, at gas stations all across the state, Texas lottery officials are saying between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. they saw about $1,300,000 in sales. That's about $21,000 per minute.
If you choose the lump sum, you can expect about a $445 million payout. The odds of winning the jackpot is about 1 in 290 million, but it's not keeping some Waco locals from their competitive spirit.
There's the winning ticket. I want to touch it.
Renee Summerhour, Fox 44 News.
I'd still be okay giving $300 million to taxes. And if no one wins tonight, though, the Powerball will be bumped up to $1 billion. That will be drawn on Saturday.
All right, if nobody wins, we have to do like a group station
Absolutely.
lottery pot.
For four of us.
Exactly. And coming up, another Texas city joins the fight against the Sanctuary Cities bill, why critics say officers acting as immigration officials could be dangerous.
And coming up, there's a new book out detailing the Baylor sexual assault scandal. Tonight, its author breaks down the victim testimony that stood out most to her.
And U.S. Senator John Cornyn is back in the state next, where he's making stops and how he's helping our veterans.
Robert Burns, Chief Meteorologist Mike LaPointe, and Sports with Matt Roberts.